Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the StarchCast! Or some shit like that. But yeah, we're back with a returning guest, motherfucking Camoku. That's right, guys. We got the man, we got the myth, we got the legend. It's fucking Camoku. He's back again. Come say hi.
Hi, everybody! Oh shit, I fucked that up.
Okay, I see how this
Fine,
one's gonna go.
I'll go ahead and deafen myself, you goofy motherfucker. I'm like, ooh, that's an idea I can run with. Granted, like, oh man, I wish I could pull off that voice, but like being tone deaf makes it so damn difficult to actually gauge what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pretty well. That's hyuk's the easiest thing you can do. Like, that's just
Well, you
run the
can do it
pronunciation
again.
slowly. Yeah, fucking do it again.
Fucking, I love that fucking meme video. That is some of the most fucked up shit, but it's
Goofy
hilarious.
just snapped. He's finally had enough of Mickey's crap.
Here, I thought it would be the other way around. After all, the joke goes, why did Mickey divorce Minnie? Because she was
Oh.
fucking goofy.
All right. Oh man. Okay. So how's hi guys, I'm Camoku. I'm the dumbass that got stuck in an exosuit that is capable of jumping universes against his own will and is now trying to find his way home somehow. Uh Apart from that, let's see. VTuber by night, forklift certified forklift operator by day. There you go.
Hell yeah, man. So what? So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Voice acting, dude. That's one that's just been on my mind.
I'm totally down to talk about voice acting. There were actually a couple of voice acting jobs I was gonna, do at one point off the record this for free subreddit, but then it
Yeah.
turns out I don't have the right voice to do a lot of the shit. Like I've tried for like 4 different voice acting gigs. One was for narrating for a UFC themed video. That did
Yep.
I did not I guess I didn't quite meet the criteria for it. Then there
Yeah.
was also one where I'd be voicing a couple actors. I actually do have the voice acting samples still, at least for that one, still on my
Nice.
thing. And I also tried voice acting for someone for their Kingdom Hearts themed video. That one didn't go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like there was a lot I was gonna do at one point, but then it just seemed like things happened or I didn't quite qualify. Which, I mean, it kind of sucks, but what can you do?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. You ever get any voice acting gigs?
So no, I'm pretty much an amateur. I
That's
am
fair.
self-taught. All the shit I do is just things I'm winging. Like it's never I find more fun in just doing my own thing. So I've never actually done a voice acting gig. I'd love to if anyone ever thought my voice was worth a damn.
I mean,
Um
like, I could like see hiring you for some kind of voice acting thing.
I mean like really my so a lot of my experiences uh as a kid, you grow up, you do a lot of shit that you look back and you're like, oh, why the fuck did I do that?
We've all been there, man. Like I sometimes have that issue, that clarity, the day after I do shit. So I mean,
yeah, yeah, you look, yeah. Fast forward 20 years, you look back like, damn, that kid was stupid.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
like I
So,
remember one time back when I was living in a trailer. There was this shelf with a porcelain rabbit on it that I had to grab something off of, and that fucker
oh,
landed on my foot because I hit the shelf just wrong, and I was well aware.
ooh, yeah, that'll wake you up.
Oh yeah. I thought I'd
So,
broke my
so
foot, man.
yeah, no, yeah, especially when it just the pain does not stop and it just feels like it's spreading. Yeah, it's gonna feel like it broke.
Oh yeah.
Um, so for me, it was the best way to describe how it started out is if you ever watched, I think it was the first Police Academy, you had that one dude that just kept doing sound effects for everything.
I can't say I'm familiar, but I'm rather uncultured swine. I'm trying to catch up on a backlog of
Oh,
movies.
I can barely remember most of the well, there's a lot of good movies that I can't remember. I have to actually I'll happen to walk by and someone's on watching it on a TV screen. I'm like, oh hey, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
How did I forget? um, but yeah, it's like just doing like random. Okay, oh, you want to try and imitate sound effects? Cool. Where are we gonna pull the audio from? It's like, let's see, cartoons, anything that's just on television, any random sound effects that we find interesting, anything that's coming out of the radio. So a lot of like trying to just replicate anything synthy, and it just goes from there. Granted, though, as a kid, once you start to kind of show your weirdness, you know, you're gonna get haters, you get bullied on so much, you just stop.
Oh yeah.
Um, but one thing that I found interesting is that whenever I would read books, I like to narrate.
Okay.
Granted, my narration voice sucks. Like I've heard what was it? Oh geez, he's on YouTube. Narrator, the narrator.
Sounds familiar.
He's got a really deep. Oh, your narrator, I think was his username. Let me actually look him up real quick.
I'll do the
Um, but
same.
he is, I think he was military.
Oh, he does gaming videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Neat.
So yeah. So he does gaming videos, but he's also like he has the narration voice. Like
Huh.
you see, like his voice just goes real deep. But it's like it's just that deep naturally, and so of course that makes him primo pick for basically being a narrator.
That
Um,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, but it's like, so it's like I would narrate, but then I would also like voice the characters myself. Granted, then you look at you, it's like if you ever watch the movie of the stuff you're reading, you're like, ah, shit, that voice was not at all what I had in mind. But okay, keep going.
I
Uh,
understand that.
so so like and then from there, but then of course because you know you're a kid growing up, say for example, you're like Harry Potter. That's a popular one. It's all British accents. I knew fuck all about British accents when I was a kid because I didn't know that there was more world past the border.
I understand that. Like, I didn't come across shows with British accents or anything until I was like, I'd like to say 12.
I think the first time I found that out was when I was watching cable TV in like 2009.
Yeah, that about lines up. Like, Doctor Who was still in its heyday.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what that sounds like, and you know, then you start trying to imitate the accents, and over enough time. Now, what really kicked it off for me is when I started playing like, you know, Call of Duty Zombies, and you start hearing the doctor.
Friggin' Call of Duty Zombies, man. Did you play
Yeah, so
regular vanilla zombies, or were you a custom zombies kind of guy?
oh, I did a bit of everything because sometimes you just got bored being railroaded the same way. So sometimes you would make like a custom setup. Other times,
No, I mean custom
you
like
know, like
zombie
modded.
mods, or
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
yeah. So like there was I think one was called the bunker.
Oh, that map is fun. Like,
Yeah,
like I liked the one. Like, if I recall right, there was a version of that for World at War that was like a recreation of the one out of Black Ops 2.
yeah.
Like, like the one off of Origins. I mean,
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
like that between
Um,
that World at War's Kino and whatnot. Like they it's recreation of Kino. Like there were
Kino
so
was
many good
fucking
maps.
creepy, dude.
Like it really was, but I'm still surprised at how well they managed to capture the ambience of it, even like for the recreations in Black Ops 3 and World at War.
Yeah, man.
Like, there's even one in
It
Pavlov.
really, I did not know that.
Yeah, like I was playing back when I was part of a group known as the Nerd Herd. Like there was a VR gaming night, and
Oh man, that's awesome.
yeah, at, like before the group, like before I left the group, like it was pretty fun. Like we'd have Pavlov night and a couple other nights, and like we were doing different custom zombies maps. Like I said, there was Kino. There was a
Yeah,
recreation of Noct, which was pretty good.
awesome.
Yeah, they had some really good like Call of Duty Zombies maps or map recreations.
Yeah, I think the one time, so like playing through, I think I stopped playing after like Black Ops 4 because that killed it for me. But the creepiest map I played, vanilla wise, the creepiest map I played was um oh geez, it's in German. That's the thing. It's from World War II. I think it's just it's the starter village.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, like you either had the what was it? David Tennant was is it David Tennant? Yeah, David Tennant was voicing a Scottish agent that was embedded in there to kind of figure out what was going on. Then you could play as other characters too, and like the whole setup for like how you didn't drink a perk soda, you actually put your hand on a machine that basically injected you with a gene modification, and that was how you got your power ups.
That
Or
sounds
no,
pretty
not you didn't
cool.
get injected. You got zapped. You got zapped, and somehow you getting zapped changed your molecular structure or whatever. It was fucking weird. The sci-fi went from being the lightsaber, lasers everywhere kind of sci-fi to like this like grungy sci-fi punk style thing. Where everything was dark, everything was dirty,
Closer
every
to
fucking corner was.
diesel punk
What's up?
then? Would it be like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, like it was all grungy, it was all dirty, and then, like nothing looked clean, and I loved it, but it was so creepy.
That sounds
And
pretty fun.
yeah, it's just but like the scene. There's like a moment where I think you walk into the doctor's lab when you've opened up enough of the area, and you just hear, "Ah, doc, you're one sick puppy, and I no sick."
Interesting.
And it's like, oh shit, wait a minute, hold on, let's not walk past that. What the fuck did you just say? What do you mean you know sick?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Yes.
But yeah, and it's just like all the shenanigans you have to get to just to assemble this one item. It took everything from like say Moon, was it Moon, Doris, and what was I'm thinking of trying to think of one more map that Moon, Doris, and Revelation.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it took elements from those three maps because I was just getting like I was recalling all. I'm like, oh shit! Like they took the best of each, took all the creepiness from Revelation, slammed it all together, and made this first map for World War II zombies. It had nothing to do with. You got another one for me, don't you?
Here it comes,
Hold on, hold
chat.
on. Before you start that, let me get the gain up real quick. Go ahead.
Why is the IT guy in the hospital?
Why?
Because he touched the firewall.
That is
I love
amazing.
you. That's the last joke for the night. My health points. It's down to one. Help.
Sorry, man.
Um,
I don't have the perk. I can't save your ass.
I don't have any potions. I'm out. Shit. So the yeah. So it's like they basically took they took those like the elements that just made those maps so good, mashed them, and then just made it so fucking creepy because you didn't know what to expect. And then when you thought you were making progress, uh, uh, there was one scene where you actually have to over pressurize the gas main in the center of town.
Ooh.
You over pressurize it. As soon as you're done, and you see this giant fireball come out of the ground in the center of town, all these half burned zombies are coming at you, and they are just covered in like bugs and bees and holy crap! I was like, I love this.
That
It's so
sounds
cool
awesome.
because you think yes, we're making progress. We can keep going. Oh hell no! New threat inbound. Keep moving.
Very,
Like
that I'll have to check that out at some point. Was that DLC
yeah,
or a
man.
regular base game for World War II?
That's base game World War II.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and I just man, I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it. Um, but then it's like more of that though, because it's like you also so that's it's those maps when you play the franchise for just zombies in general, that made up part of the foundation for why I started self teaching myself accents, just accents, and then with reading books, there's the narration voice, and then trying to voice act the characters, and it's pretty cool because what is it? There's like Chronicles of Narnia, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I loved Narnia. I grew up watching like the first film, and I used to read
I
the books.
cannot, yeah, I cannot do Liam Neeson's voice. I cannot.
Can anyone really? Like that is a master
Yeah,
class in.
yeah, yeah. That was a master class in how to do that, and I could never hope to imitate that. However,
Oh no.
when reading the book, it actually describes his voice as a booming voice. So he sounds like this.
Oh lordy, that voice does things to me.
And mind you, uh, like, my wife's like, where the hell did you learn how to do that? I'm like, do what? And he's like, the voices. I'm like, oh, I've been fucking messing around with that shit since I was a kid.
Yep.
And she's like, do you realize? She's like, do you realize that you're basically juggling 7 different voices at any given time, and you're not fucking up because you're pulling those voices on command. And I'm like, really? I couldn't freaking tell because I'm over here trying to not fuck up, trying to properly read a story.
That is pretty cool.
Over here, I'm thinking, damn, I fucked that up. I fucked that up. That's fucked up. I could have intoned that better.
It's
I didn't go deep enough.
outside perspective is always way different from what we think of
Oh,
ourselves.
it is. It is.
Like
And
yeah, like whenever I try to do accents, I know for a fact, like the most of the time, those are not accents, those are accidents. Like for a while, like I used to do like streams of this game. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but called Trade Winds.
No, that's actually, let me look that up real quick.
That's from a company called Sandlot. I know it's on the Wild Tangent subscription service, and it used to be on Steam before Sandlot went defunct.
Let's see, trade wins. Oh wait, it's pulling up companies.
Yeah, you may have to look up, say, Trade Winds Wild Tangent.
Oh yeah, video game Wild Tangent.
Like I put so much time into those games. Because, like, especially with the first one, like, I don't know if there's actually any voice acting at all in the Trade Wind series. So, like, when it came to the Port Authority, he was always like, if, well, like, you're just by yourself or just streaming, it's like, oh, tally ho! Pirate picking Longlegs Jeremiah has been caught between Lama Soot and Tanchon! Just absolutely fucking goofy shit. Because, like, you're by
Nice.
yourself, you gotta entertain yourself somehow when there's the only thing for the game is, like,
Yeah,
the music and the sound effects.
yeah, definitely.
But like I said, for the most part, those were accents. Those were not accents.
See, I'm looking at the gameplay for like screenshots of the gameplay, and I'm just like, man, this very much reminds me of oh geez, what was it again? Damn, I forgot the name for it. There was a video game where it had the player cards on it and everything. Probably Civilization, if anything else, like the original Civ.
Oh, I loved the original Civ. I used to play that shit in high school when I should have been doing my work.
Oh,
Like they
look,
gave us
man,
MacBooks.
I got stories about that. Because the high school I was going to became so dependent on electronics to do all their like distribution of academic material, not just the homework and the classwork, but also they tried to institute a program where they were actually handing everybody out a copy of what they needed to be reading through the laptops.
Oh yeah.
Mind you, this was also in the middle of Los Angeles, so they had to lock up all the laptops as soon as they were done.
Okay.
I have never liked Apple though.
Oh dear.
So I brought in my own laptop and I told them, just give me access to the signal that you're using, whatever Wi-Fi signal or whatever. If I have to run an Ethernet cord to the modem in the classroom myself, I'll do it. I'm just not using that laptop. I feel more confident using my own equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the only one that was actually allowed to carry his own laptop around
Very nice.
because you couldn't stop me. One,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
Like
like,
it's your own personal property as long as you're not doing crazy shit. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, yeah. So I'm over here like, yeah, I'm doing my classwork. Yes, I'm doing my homework. And then it's like in the middle of lecture. someone leans over and goes, "Dude, is that Super Mario?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
That's the thing. Like, my school, like my whole state when I was a kid, going from like 6th grade to like my last year, and I think apparently to 12th grade, they gave my entire school, like for 7th grade to freshman year,
Yeah,
iPads. And then they gave us fucking MacBook Airs, like but proper top of the line ones with the Core
yep,
i7, which was like the Haswell
yep,
one at the time. And us
yep.
kids, we immediately jailbroke that shit. So we were all doing shit like we had DOSBox, we had emulators, we
Oh yeah,
had fucking video games. And then I guess one of the
and
teachers
that's
caught on and installed like watchdog software so they could see what we were doing. And obviously the kids
see.
bypassed that shit too. So
Oh
like,
yeah, no. If you know what you're doing, you can easily disable all of it.
oh yeah,
That's exactly the reason why I also was carrying my own laptop because I'm like, look, all it takes is one of us figuring out how to fuck with the system, and you guys can't do anything to stop it. At least I can
exactly.
firewall. At least I can firewall my segment of the network.
Hmm.
And so, sure enough, someone tried to. I think what was it? What was that? What was it? I'm trying to remember. Um.
Take as long as you need.
Oh, someone. So what happened was someone messed with. So there's the central server for the entire network that these laptops were hooked up to.
Oh no.
For whatever reason, one of the students figured out how to get past the security protocol without needing the password. I don't know how the fuck they did it. They never told me. As far as I know, maybe they used a ducky or a keylogger. I have no freaking clue. My guess is a keylogger because otherwise, there really was no way of getting that password unless they did something stupid like leave it lying around in a text file somewhere, a
W-
basic text file.
Wouldn't surprise
Which
me, honestly.
honestly, yeah, but like holy smokes, for all the money that got dumped into this school when I was going there, that would be horribly irresponsible of them.
I mean, have you
But anyways,
considered the state of school IT services? Like that shit is like that is a fucking shit show. Like the stories I've heard from people who've worked IT for schools, like it is like a
yeah,
trash fire, both because of teachers' poor lack of OPSEC, and then the kids who go through electronics like I go through tacos.
exactly. Yeah, and it definitely doesn't help when you got one dude that actually knows a thing or two about hacking and can just not even have to actually mess with anything. They just go into a basic command line and just start stripping the system looking for what they need.
Yeah, and once they do that shit,
Um,
like it's game over for everyone.
oh yeah, if you know how to read the map, good luck.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna what was it? Star Fox 64. Good luck.
I still gotta friggin' play the Star Fox games, man.
Oh, dude. Start with my recommendation. If you want to have a good start off, it's gonna be chronologically out of order, but a good start off. Start with Star Fox Adventures. Everyone loves to rag on it, but I'm gonna die on this hill. That was a good game.
I believe it.
Then go hop back to Star Fox 64.
Okay.
If you want to, you can even go back to the original Star Fox on I think what was that SNES?
Yeah,
Hold
Super
on.
Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo. So you could do or hell, you could do chronological release. So Super Nintendo, then go for the one that was on then go for Star Fox 64, then go for Adventures, then go for Star Fox Assault, and then finish it off with the 3DS one or the DS one.
I'll definitely have to. Like, I got such a major backlog just for the 3DS that it ain't even funny. Like, I still gotta finish the
I still gotta finish Kingdom Hearts, bro.
fucking Kingdom Hearts. I mean, sorry, that's comes across rude. Like, good for
Oh no no
those
no!
like who
I heard
enjoy
what
it.
happened with Kingdom. I heard what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm thoroughly disappointed. I have a copy of it sitting in my pile for the PS4 stuff that I'm supposed to be playing. I am afraid to open it and put the disc in because of what a friend of mine told me.
Fair enough. Like, I didn't really find myself enjoying the games. I think they genuinely would have been better if they were some kind of like book series or like comics or something like that.
They
Because
were. They were.
Oh, like there's actually novelizations of
There's
the
a king.
series?
There is a Kingdom Hearts manga.
Does it cover the events of the games and whatnot?
Yes, Google it, bro. You will not believe that that was actually a thing they did with the video game. They did a manga,
Shit, I'll have to check
and
that out because I
and
hated
that
the
shit
games.
was awesome. You don't. It's not like Kingdom Hearts One, Kingdom. No, it's just Kingdom Hearts,
That is awesome. I'll definitely have to check
and
that
the
out.
yeah, and the manga goes through the story of the first game going into what was it, Chain of Memories, then going into Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And the art style is true to the video game, but the way the story writing with the scene picks, it's so much more intense.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Like hell, the fight with I think it was like the fight with between fuck, what was his name? So you had Axel from Organization 13 and not Ventus. It was when he was a nobody.
Okay.
When he was a nobody and didn't remember who he was, but he still had access to the Keyblade and was part of Organization 13. Him and Axel duke it out at the very beginning, at the like very beginning that prologues Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, Him and Axel duke it out. That fight in the video game, okay, that was pretty cool. You see that you read the fight in the manga. Holy crap, that was even more intense in the manga.
That I'll definitely have to check that shit out because manga, that is more my speed. Like I don't know why, but like sometimes like JRPGs such as like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts and all that, like I just cannot find myself getting into because like for
Yeah,
whatever reason in my mind I just say, wow, this would be so much better as a book or a comic or something like that. Like as it is, these are abysmal. Which no,
yeah.
that's a hot take, but I think the Final Fantasy series, like a good chunk of those even, like I'm talking PS1 era and later, would have been better off as like manga or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Another thing also, just like bringing it back to the voice acting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, no, no, no. That's just like I have a habit of going on tangents just because it helps me explain things, but then I have to remember to bring shit back, and it's a habit I'm having to learn. Um, I actually did enjoy the voice acting for those games. Um, Simply because uh you had like Riku. At first, he actually gave a shit, but then as the story progresses, like he joins up with darkness. His voice is more monotone, kind of. He's insisting on going this route, and when he realizes he's wrong, he's like, "Well, shit." And
Sorry,
he stops being a fucking edge lord. He starts being human again.
that's fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, the thing that got me chuckling was just like serious explanation. Serious explanation. Well, shit. I don't know why that's so funny to me right now.
A lot of I gotta get it in a nutshell. So a lot of it is like, oh, I'm just gonna hit it with the well shit because it's just situationally accurate.
I wasn't complaining. That shit's great, man. Like,
It's like, congratulations, you foobarred yourself, dumbass. Now what are you gonna do?
oh
You're
no,
still alive,
curse.
so you got that going for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Oh,
you
shit,
may
I
have
got my
fucked
key
up, but
digging
now
into
you
my
get to
thigh.
live with the consequences. Yeah.
Oh wow, how did I end up with? Oh, that's just great. I ended up with my wife's keys somehow. She has mine.
Ooh, if you that's fun.
It's fine. Um, So I'll just make sure to put everything back when I go to bed before going to bed.
Okay.
Um so the where was I again? So yeah, a lot of it, like, there is, as the story progresses, the voices do change. Like, there's subtle, it's not big changes, there's subtle changes. Um Similar to, let's see, one good example that I could think of. Um
Maybe you should do an
Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Jet, he's very gruff. I can't do it just because half the time my damn vocal cords are shredded out.
I get it.
But like he's like, there's like, we gotta do this the right way, and it's like in any bounty, it's like, oh, this is the intel I got from a buddy of mine back in the ISS or the ISSP. But then other times his voice goes a little softer. He's like, "Oh, sure, yeah, I can help you with that." It's very situationally aware. He's not always the drill sergeant that's going, "You are out of uniform, soldier."
Ah, I see.
But I've what was it? So like a good example, one good example that I can think off the top of my head, and I have no hate towards him. He's fucking awesome for the content he creates. I love the deep dives. Fucking need to get back on watching his stuff just because like 2-3 hours spent listening to him explain and break down. Um, Pyrocynical is a very good deep dive channel.
I believe it.
And the dude,
I follow the dude on Twitter, but I just
yeah.
never really got into his content.
So he did a breakdown for uh was it Murder Squad? Murder Squadron? Hold on. Was it Murder Squad? Nope, that's a Swedish death metal band.
I know what I'm listening to later.
It's like real shit though. Here we go. I'll just search up fucking Parasynical's channel instead of being a dumbass about it. We have the technology.
Unfortunately, the technology still has to fill out a form ID depending on who's using it.
Exactly. Cruelty Squad. There we go. Jeez, man.
Oh man, I remember seeing Civi's video on it. What a great friggin' game! Like I gotta play that
Yeah, I
again.
still need to play it. That's on my backlog.
I put like
Um,
20, I think, minutes into it.
nice.
Yeah.
So like the breakdown for that. Then there's also the breakdown for like total. What was it? Total darkness or total madness. He goes in real in depth, breaks it all down, explains all the little mechanics and how everything works, and then goes into the lore, and then explains all the little plot twists, and if there's like an Easter egg reference, he also explains that. I love that. It's fucking awesome. It just breathes life into a world I didn't even know existed.
That's
And
really
then
cool.
there's his voice acting. Granted, he's gotten better, so I'll give him credit where credit is due. But he did voice acting for it was a Half-Life video game that was made.
Oh, you were
It
talking Hunt
wasn't
Down
the
the Freeman?
Yes, Hunt Down the Freeman. He did the voice acting for a soldier, and it's like, dude, your guy is bent over, fucking like huffing like he just ran a mile to get a message out, and you're over here. We got a problem.
So that's where that fucking voice. Oh, you know how many times motherfuckers have hit on me doing that exact impression? And it's that motherfucker? Bruh!
I I think it is just I think he's ragged on himself. He has ragged on himself, so he's self-aware. I'll give him that. It's why I just have respect for the guy because he knows where his Achilles heel is, and he's not afraid to address it.
That's pretty
And he
friggin' cool.
and he works on it too because there's Iron. He did a voice acting skit for Iron Lung with a bunch of other content creators. That was actually fucking cool, and he actually did get better on that one. He started intoning more, so he was actually able to put more emotion behind his voice as he was voice acting for the skit for Iron Lung. That so they could explain more of the lore behind the scenes and whatnot. Um, Granted, it's not official, but it's actually pretty cool because it kind of gives you the outside perspective of what's going on in Iron Lung. Now, coming back to the main topic, um, it's that intonation, being able to change how hard your voice is coming in. A lot of people think they can just read off a script and there, done.
If
I was like, dude,
only, but like,
it's
when.
like, yeah,
Oh. Like, it's. Like, it seems like nowadays, like, a lot of people still get that misconception, because, like, there's like, even on the record this for free subreddit, like, there's a reason that there's a lot of projects usually pretty active. It's because people just try to sleepwalk through the scripts because they're like, record this for free? Okay. Yes, I will do the thing. No. And it's like, no, that's not how you fucking voice act. You gotta put some emotion into it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
how dare you? Okay, I'm not going for my Oscar here. It's like, but like, how dare you? No, even that. Now that I'm trying to do something off the top of my head, it's like, no.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Hold on, I need to search up a meme real quick. Who shot the Who shot meme? Where's it from? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so it's the meme for Who Killed Hannibal. If you've ever watched the Andre show,
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I ever really watched it.
so he's just sitting. So the nutshell is Andre's doing a talk show. It's a talk show, but the whole fucking thing is a skit from Jump Street. The moment that camera goes live, the only people that are in on the joke are Andre and Hannibal himself whenever he's in.
Okay.
And they are fucking with everyone. They're fucking with the guest. They have fucked with the props. There was one dude who's about to take a sip out of a coffee mug, and the coffee mug explodes in his hand.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like the whole set is just rigged, and the only people that know what's gonna happen is Hannibal and Andre.
Okay.
Now, Hannibal has had a moment where he is playing the dude that's stoned, and I think they were watching a baseball clip, and he's just sitting there looking at the screen going, whack. But it's he. And it's just like that became a meme where now anytime there's anything baseball related and you hear the smack of a baseball on a baseball bat on a baseball, it's Hannibal just going whack. Like that became a meme for a hot second. And unfortunately, the whole show is very much meme material. Hence the Who Shot Hannibal, where you just see the dude turn around in like this little like 15-20 second bit, turns around, shoots Hannibal, like dumps into him, then turns at the camera and goes, "Who shot Hannibal?"
Wow.
It's just like a whole like just some shitty ass noir TV detective drama. It's like, what the fuck? Hold on a minute, you just did a whole skit. What are you wasting time on this for, bro? And it's like, oh, you're fucking acting, okay?
Ah.
Yeah, but it's being able to just like on the fly. I'm gonna just either cut the emotions here and make this monotone as possible, or just go full extreme.
Interesting.
And it's you got to be able to know just how much emotion to dump into something.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, and it's something that over I guess it's safe to say over like a decade of just reading and then just also like not just like I'll read and then I'll watch the movie, or I'll watch the movie and then I'll read the medium. And you kind of start figuring, okay, so this is how things are supposed to look. Okay, no problem. And then as more and more you do that, you repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. You start kind of getting the rhythm. You start figuring out what you're supposed to be doing. And sure enough, you start being able to replicate the stuff yourself. Hell, you might even be able to do it on command if you've been at it long enough, especially if you're just fucking around and making random noises.
Okay.
Then, granted, there's like a couple people I know that'd be like, no, that's not at all how that works.
I believe it.
What's how I got here, damn it.
Hey, if it works, it works.
For real.
It's only dumb if it doesn't.
It's like, look, I got behind the seat of the damn plane. I don't know how the hell I got us to land safely, but it worked, damn it.
Exactly. Like speaking of landing planes, you see that MythBusters episode where they actually tried that myth in a simulator?
Really?
Yeah, it was like Adam and Jamie, were testing the myth to see if with instructions from a like actual
yeah, air traffic controller, yeah.
Yeah, like that still surprises me.
Cracking open the monster. Let's go.
The official drink of femboys.
It's the white monster.
Oh wow, you're actually going whole hog. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was told, look, I can get you, I can get you 2 free monsters. Can you think of any flavors that you want? Because I'm buying. I'm like, well, I'm in for the long haul tonight, so get me 1 original and fucking give me a white one.
Nice. I'm more
Yeah,
of
I
a
just
fan of
couldn't think.
Mango Loco myself, but I get it.
Yeah, well, see, despite the fact that I hate tasting artificial sweeteners because it tastes like metal to me,
I get it.
it tastes like I'm drinking liquid aluminum. If you know, you know, and if you don't,
Yeah.
good on you. You don't need to worry about suffering that kind of pain. But despite that, just the simple fact that okay, compared to an original, the calorie count for an original monster is like 260 calories,
That is
and that's just
shockingly low for what I was expecting.
yeah, it's 260 calories until you realize the majority of that is the sugar.
Ah, yep.
That thing is pumped with so much fucking sugar. Oh my god. So then I'm like, cool. Artificial sweetener, please, because I want to get that calorie count to where it should be. You remove all the calories from the actual sweetener and you use the artificial stuff, it drops it down to 10 calories.
Have you
Damn near
actually
nothing.
had one of those no sugar monsters?
Yeah, that's anything ultra. So Monster White is ultra white, ultra red, ultra blue,
They've
mango
also
ultra.
got coffee drinks that are zero sugar. Like I just tried their sweet black flavor the other day, and holy shit! You know what it genuinely tasted like?
What?
It tasted like tap water being poured in the vicinity of a coffee machine. It was the
Oh,
weirdest and most horrific experience, bro.
see, okay, so now we're gonna go on a tangent, everybody. Hold on tight. I'll bring it back eventually. Just don't ask me. I'll do it on command. Now, seltzer water or just fizzy water. Fuck it, whatever you want to call it, or just seltzer,
LaCroix?
fizzy, Lacroix. Fuck, my shit is death water.
That shit is good.
Liquid death water. I'm sorry. I've tried Perrier. I've tried Lacroix. I've tried bubbly. I've tried geez, Boss. It all tastes like garbage.
I have to disagree with you just because I really love LaCroix, but that's a taste thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, see, it's the problem. So, granted, the aromatics, I'm not going to complain about that. What ruins it for me is the carbonation. Something in
Yeah,
the CO2 charges that they're using for that water completely fucks up any chance the aromatic has of producing a proper flavor for you.
that would not surprise me.
I don't know what the process is. I've never been curious enough to look and satiate any sort of ADD that might be coming from that. But when it comes to like liquid death water, I don't know why, but it that CO2 charge is not as heavy, so I can actually taste the flavor.
See,
So
for me, I have the
so
opposite issue. Like I noticed, at least with liquid death that gets brought up here to where I live in Maine, like that is some of the
right.
most overly carbonated stuff. Like the flavor is still there, but like
Damn.
it's way more carbonated. The stuff that hits the shelves
Holy
here.
crap. I'm further south in Virginia. I didn't realize that you guys had the opposite situation up there. Damn.
Yeah, it's weird. Like whereas with
Maybe
the
the
Lacroix
bottling
we
plant
get,
is up
it's
there.
maybe but, like the Lacroix ones we get
Jesus.
are actually shockingly good carbonation. So I'll like back when I used to buy it, I'd buy myself either the coconut one or the grapefruit, and those were or like yeah, I'm pretty sure it was grapefruit. But
Damn.
like and
Okay,
those
that's
were
very
good.
interesting. Yeah,
You ever have
my
Polar
whole time
seltzer?
Polish seltzer. No, I can't say that I have.
That's the I think genuinely the gold standard of seltzer.
I'll have to look into that one then.
It
So
might.
anyways,
Sorry,
no. Go ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I think that one might be regional, but I'm not entirely certain.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Um, so let me give me a second to kind of reset and figure out where to go from here.
My bad.
Because I'm going in like 50 different directions at the same time, and the stimulants definitely aren't going to help that situation.
I mean, I
I'll
understand. I
be
gotta
going.
actually get up. Like, if you want to keep talking.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Going 50 different directions that mock Jesus. Holy crap. So the especially when it's something you're interested in, or 50 different things you're interested in. So Yeah, so far the only what was it? I've tried. I think I've tried every flavor of Death Water, and it tastes fine to me. And my favorites so far are the Bury It Alive and Chainsaw Mango. But um,
What the fuck?
what was the point? Oh, right, the whole freaking thing with Monster and whatnot. Anyways, um,
I'm listening.
fun fact actually. I don't know if you've
Uh,
apparently I didn't know this, but for what's it? There are people that do voice training to sound make their like even though they're males, they're able to train their voices to sound more feminine. I found out about that. I'm like, that is a very interesting thing.
I found that if I found out about that from a couple of my trans friends who
Yeah,
they get the vocal dysphoria, so they've been like using that to train.
yeah. Um, which is very interesting because I think I remember. Um, do you know a VTuber by the name of Obi Katie Cat?
Even though I am a VTuber, I know fuck all about that thing.
Okay, so that's why I ask because I'm not about to go assuming that every VTuber knows who everyone else is, regardless of how big or how small they are.
The only ones I really
Um,
know would be Pippa, Kiyomi,
Jeez,
and
there's a name. Pippa is one of the people that if I ever meet them, I would need to keep my mouth shut at all times, just because I'd be afraid of setting off way more chaos than needs to be introduced at that time.
see
Pippa's already the whole fucking package.
that is pussy talk, man. Fucking feed the chaos.
No, I have. Look, okay, so let me go on another tangent real quick. So I just recently became a certified forklift operator. My previous job, and I'm gonna say this real slow so everyone can understand the situation. My previous job was being a pipe fitter, working at Redacted on a Redacted.
Ah, yes, my favorite job, redacted. But I understand NDAs
Yes,
and all that shit. I get you.
it's NDAs with specific contracts. The
All right,
money was awesome, but
hi.
at some point
You
you
totally
have
had
to end
to
up
put pipe on for McDonald's, didn't you?
at some point I decided the money isn't worth it anymore. I'm getting screwed over. And sure enough, before I ever even got the chance to make the decision to leave, the decision was made for me.
Ah, sorry to hear.
Yeah, so I went, fuck it. I don't want to be here anymore anyway. Y'all can keep the fucking money. And I leave. But the funniest fucking thing is that everyone in the cruise, every single person in the cruise that I served with for these constructions, we're all civilians. Some of them were former military. Everybody was fucking unhinged.
That just makes shit fun, though.
You sneezed and the chaos was kickstarted.
See, that is the kind of crew I'd absolutely love to fucking hang with. I absolutely
Oh
love
yeah, I
chaotic gremlins.
yeah. Well, because it's also the problem is like it's cold. We're working on material that is unforgiving, so if you sit on it, you're gonna get uncomfortable after a couple minutes, and you have to get up and walk around. It will get miserable, especially if you're standing by for a structural inspection.
Hold on a
And on
second.
top of that, what's up?
You mentioned shit got cold. I have a colloquialism to run by you that this is pretty common where I live, but is it at all? Have you heard this one before?
What's up?
It's colder than a witch's tit.
Yes, Bioshock, let's go.
See, I never learned
It's
about that shit from Bioshock. Literally, like even before Bioshock, like I'd hear that shit from my grandfather.
really, I learned about
Yeah,
that from Bioshock. I did not know that that was. I thought that was a video game
no, that was a
thing.
real, actual thing. Like I just
Like,
assumed it was regional because like no
I,
one's.
I I had buddies that would say colder and fuck because they were from the deep south.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had buddies that said it's so cold my balls are freezing off. Uh, let's see, what's another one I know? It's so cold. It's so cold my piss froze.
Yep.
That one's a pain. That one comes from that one's that fuck that dude had the experience with that because he tried to go outside, didn't know it was his first time living in a place that it was below zero.
Oh
Didn't
no.
did not have an inkling of common sense.
I know
Goes
too many
outside,
fucking people like that.
presents arms, and then wonders why the heck everything just froze and why he's got a stick somewhere it shouldn't be. Luckily, he survived with his package intact, but holy smokes. That is crisis moment right there.
See, this is why, in the wintertime, and to anyone else listening, doesn't matter where you are, if you have indoor plumbing that doesn't freeze up, you use that shit. Do
Oh
not
yeah, no,
risk
that's a
the
fucking
fucking
luxury.
hospital trip. Just piss inside. And if
Yep.
there's someone taking the fucking restroom, use a bottle. Holy fuck. Don't be a
Yeah.
dumbass.
It's
Alright,
not worth it. It's not worth the hospital trip, not at all. If you've what was it? Jeez, what was this? If you've watched A Christmas Story, that tells you everything you need to know. Because homeboy got his tongue stuck on that telephone pole, and he was just a dumbass. Wasn't he dared for it?
good question. I've never seen the movie, so I don't
I,
know.
I think he was dared on that. And hit the comment section. Let me know. um. So we let's see. So bringing it back to so anyways, back on topic. So regarding Obi Katie Cat and hell, even Pippa, because actually Pippa's done some narration and her stuff is pretty good. It's pretty decent. I'm not gonna call it, top tier A list. No, it's decent. She will she's read book excerpts. She still uploads those every now and again when she gets around to it. But she's pretty decent. On top of that, when it comes to in regards to OB Katie Cat, her thing. So one thing that I appreciated is she made an upload. There was a clip of her stream where someone had asked the question, "How do you do the death metal growl?"
I'm
She
interested.
is someone. She is someone with a. Oh, let's see. You got to get the wording for this correct because I might fuck up the description and then people are gonna come at me like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? That's not what her voice sounds like." Um, she's British, so she has that accent. Her voice is not high pitched. It would be somewhere higher than where my voice is. I'll say that.
I don't know who
But
this
when
is, but I am already aroused. Go on.
so, but she like most of her moments. She's like very hyper. She's fuck what was it? I think the only reason I ran into her is because I was looking. I was like, fuck, I want to see someone play Destiny just so I can have some references to how to play Destiny in a different style. And then I ran into her stream. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm just like, what the fuck? She's unhinged. Uh, fucking running skits where she's jumping off the top of salad. Was it Winter's Peak? I think was the location for the Iron Temple. Um, But anyways, that's beside the point. She starts explaining the death metal growl and actually explains about the muscles in right below the sternum, sitting in between the sternum and the abs, and how that's supposed to be something that needs to go tight because your diaphragm expansion and retraction as you're trying to talk, if that section is not tightened down, you can't do the growl. And that also feeds in that section right there will feed into apparently it will pull on muscles that are the false vocal cords. That'll let you do the death metal growl without shredding the crap out of your actual vocal cords. Which is something that I could not understand how to do, considering that a buddy of mine who is very much I think he was actually part of a metal band at one point because he has all this high end equipment and whatnot. And he knows his shit when it comes to Les Pauls and whatnot, and
Those people are
even
fucking cool, the metal folks.
and the custom jobs and everything. And I Jesus, I'm in the one time I had never felt more in the dark than when I saw two metalheads that actually had played and were in the scene and knew people and talked about the custom build jobs that they had for guitars, just go back and forth about all the specification. Like, damn, you guys know about as much about guitars as I know about computers. I could put y'all both in the dark when it comes to that. But when it comes to the electric guitars, all the instrumentation, uh, you know, the custom builds that are going into like the fretboards and whatnot. I could not figure that out from my just no. I am in the dark. I know nothing. I'm not about to open my mouth on that.
I get it.
It gave me mad respect because I'm like, wow, these guys are very passionate about their craft. Like and so I asked him, how do you do that growl? Because I always heard him do it. And he's like, you got to use your false vocal cords. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's running me through it. And I would try to do it in front of him. And he's like, no, 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 no. Stop right there. You're about to shred your vocal cords. Don't do that. Just try to figure out where those muscles are. And I'm guessing at some point, homeboy just realized that he didn't know how to explain it to me. He could just give me the bare basics that he knew because he taught himself how to do it. And he
That's
would
impressive.
also search up other like death metal artists that knew how to do it. And I guess he taught himself off of that. And he eventually figured out he does, and it sounds so awesome. Granted, me myself trying it, I kept shredding my vocal cords each time, and I'm like, I'm getting nowhere with this. I'm gonna just stop and I'll figure something else down the line. Back to Katie Cat. She goes ahead and is explaining this out, and she goes from normal British female voice to oh fuck, that is not human.
Arousing. Continue.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's like it's so, and then she's explaining how if you can modulate how much air you're putting into it as the muscles in your sternum are tightened up or below your sternum are tightened up, you can actually change the pitch of said growl to where it sounds different. And she goes from a definite death metal growl to sounding like something out of Zombies. I'm
Okay.
like, those are the fuckers I would headshot because they were getting too close to me and they were trying to swipe at me with their arms. What the fuck?
That is
Uh,
awesome. Like,
let
actually,
me actually
genuinely.
let me look up that clip so I can send it to you and you can see what I mean because I just watched that not too long ago. Um, so you can at least see what I mean. Because I heard it once and I had it as background info. Had that shit as background info. And background info. What the fuck are you saying, pendejo? I had it as background noise. There we go. If I can just get my brain to stay on track for like 2 seconds. Here we go. I'll send this to you now. I found it.
Hell yeah.
Share, copy, and I'll go ahead and just I'll put it on your general.
Much appreciated. I'll make sure to
There
pin
you go.
that.
Yep. And it literally says the video metal waifu VTuber shows you how to scream. This is metal scream. But like she doesn't go into the full. I think there's like a split second where she starts it up. She doesn't go into the full scream, and it sounds just like the zombie.
That is
And,
actually, like, really impressive.
and I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. I was like, I had to stop. I was prepping my house so I could mop. And in the middle of starting the mop, put everything down, went to sit down real quick, rewinded like 15 seconds so I can get back to where I was. Zombie scream. Let's go.
Yup.
Look, I wanna shout with enthusiasm just to because holy fuck, like it was a blast from the past.
Dude, it's awesome.
I
Like,
got
I'm not gonna shit on you for like
I
enjoying
got
what you
no, no.
enjoy.
It is like 10:55 at night. I got the family asleep right now. I scream in enthusiasm, everyone's gonna fucking wake up.
It's fine, man.
Both dogs are gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yup.
And
Let's
meanwhile,
go.
the cats aren't gonna give a shit. They're gonna be like, "Eh, fuck it, he's doing stupid shit again."
Yeah, me with my 5 cats.
Oh, I got so each I think so here's the thing. I love animals. They're awesome. I got um this little silky terrier. I also got like fuck, he's like a I think like a hound breed mix. There is a tuxedo cat. I've also got like a not a calico. It's like a shit. I don't remember. he basically has this interesting pattern on his fur where it's like black stripes with like brownish, greenish, with like gold tinges in it in between the black streaks.
That is
And then
adorable.
there's this multi-patch cat that has like patches of white, gray, and orange in their fur.
That
Each one of them is a fucking adorable baby in their own right, except for the hound. He's an old man. He don't give a shit. And him I adopted because he needed a home, and the unfortunate thing was the guy that owned him at the time was running out of not running out of anything really. It's just like he needs a home. He needs to relax. He's doing too much now. He's only got 3 legs. Can you help out? I went, sure. Let me just talk to some people and figure out what's going on. And I got the okay to bring him home. And this dude's just calm until someone decides to knock on the door. Then he's like, "Who the hell is that?"
Get off my lawn, you fucker!
Yeah, no, you damn kids, get off my damn lawn. And then see like stuff like that. Uh, it's very much like the old man, and it's like everything kind of just feedbacks, and I'm just like, man, I gotta try doing more of this voice acting stuff because it
I'm
just
old
seems more
and
fun. And it's like
I'm in my
I don't know,
prime.
I don't, I'm as spry as a spring chicken.
I may be old, but I can still take you down, whippersnapper.
Well, I gotta try. There was one where it's like it sounds like he's just been smoking like 60 packs a day since he was born. Let's see, you damn kids with your get the fuck off the lawn.
See,
Oh man,
like my
I
old
can't
man
do that.
voice, I really like to do is like a hello.
Ah, jeez.
Like I hear that one. Like my grandpa has been like tends to do that whenever he answers the phone, literally just like that, or the hello. Like they just that world weary. That really
It's like
now
fuck.
of all
Yeah.
times.
Like man, I just sat down. Like it's like I just sat my ass down. What the fuck you want?
I'm 87 years old, not 23. Do I look like I have time for some asshole from Bengal?
What was it? So I'm bringing the microphone a little closer to me so I can try to get this one done. But so I knew one of the guys that taught me how to do everything I knew how to do as a pipe fitter. The first time I met him, he just took one look at me and goes, "You don't know shit, do you?"
That's
I couldn't get mad.
yeah,
I couldn't get
exactly.
mad. I'm like, "No, sir. I don't know. I don't know my head from my ass. I'm sorry." It's like I just got assigned to this crew. I'm supposed to be shadowing someone, and apparently the shadow didn't teach me shit. He's like, "Yeah, I can see that." um, and he, dude, has me take a piece of equipment that we need, and he has me lug it to the specific project that we're working on. I shit you not, this thing weighed like 95 pounds. It's heavy, and he thinks I'm not about to lift this thing because he's like, "You got nothing but flab on you, so you can move it." I'm like, dude, seriously, okay, fine. I just don't be fucking pissed. Reach down, slug that thing over my shoulder, get up, start walking behind him. And he's like, all right, just go on ahead. I'll get there eventually. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving the dust. Fucking sped right past him. I get there in 2 minutes, takes him 15 minutes to get over to where I am. He's like, how the fuck you move that fast? You're too damn big.
All right.
I'm trying, so I'm pausing a lot because I'm trying to replicate his voice.
Hey, I'm not complaining, bro.
But
I'm enjoying the story.
his voice was like real high pitched, so not like high pitched in the sense that he was old. Your vocal cords just kind of naturally shred a little, so you start getting some higher pitches that aren't supposed to be there. And everything breaks down in the end, and it's a sad fact of life. But hey, we all get there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just a matter of how. It's just a matter of how quickly. Some of us are trying to do the speed run, and everyone else is just trying to play story mode with the side missions on.
Hey man, Smoke grass and eat ass. Life in the fast lane, am I right?
There you go. There's someone that's trying to speed run the end. Oh, but this dude seriously had speed run it though. Like he tells us, yeah, no. It's like, yeah, you kids are constantly trying to go to these hangouts with yourselves after work each Friday. I can't go. I'm like, why the fuck not? Just come on. He's like, I can't drink, you dipshit.
Okay.
And I'm like, the fuck, did you drink your liver out? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, why don't you just say something? Because you're supposed to have common sense, kid. That's what's wrong with your generation. Y'all are lost. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, man, whatever. Yeah, it's not like I didn't choose. It's like you're telling me I'm lost, but yet I'm here in this practically well-paying job. At any moment, I could get a piece of heavy construction equipment dropped on me, and that'd be it.
Well, hey, if you see the Live Leak logo.
Yeah, just like you want to tell me I'm lost, but I'm here. I picked one of the most difficult jobs just because I'm kind of stupid, yes, but at the same time, hey, this is where the money's at. People are always going to need construction. Something's got to be built somewhere at all times. I wouldn't say I'm lost. It's just I don't know much about anything, so I'm learning from you. Granted, when you're that old, you can't really tell much damage because everything, unless they're like hooked up to a machine 24/7, you're not going to know what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
This dude he didn't wear his heart on his shoulder. He was very reserved, and that's fine. I respect it. Not everybody likes to share their story, but the one time he started telling us about himself, he's like, "Yeah, no, my liver's gone. I so much as take a drink, I'm dead that day." And I'm like, "Damn, all right." He's like, "Well, shit, I can't drink with you. I can at least share a cigar with you." He's like, "I can't fucking smoke that." He's like, "Why not?" It's like, "That's too much. That's what these cigars are for." Sorry, that's what these cigarettes are for. I'm like, "All right, old timer. I'll stick to the cigars. You can keep the cigarette. It's fine."
Okay.
And yeah, but anyways, I completely forgot the whole point of this fucking story. But like that's the dude. Like that's the old man voice that I didn't know existed. But this is it's like it's the more people you meet, the more of a range you start being able to figure out for voices. Then from there, it's just trying to figure out how to modulate or how to replicate those voices as you go. And some
Yeah.
of them you got to make up. Some of them you might have never heard before, and you got to make them up. Bringing that back to the main topic of voice acting and whatnot. Granted, like I said, I am fucking teaching myself as I'm winging this whole thing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like look, I got a page open right now. I can read it to you. Voice acting, everything you need to know. Voice acting can be the perfect job if you have promising acting talents, impressive voice modulations, and consistent efforts to hone your voice-based Fuck, I already screwed up. And consistent efforts to hone your voice based on situations. I don't even think I did that one either. And just I'll show you the monotone one without trying to actually do it. It's no longer a distant dream. Here we bring down the easiest and quick ways to better your skills and find ways to get settled in your dream job.
Is that really
Bueller.
monotone? Like,
Bueller. It's monotone for me.
fair enough. That
Like,
just sounds more like a droning voice. Like you know.
yeah, well, like, yeah, it would sound droning. So
I thought monotone was something kind of like this, just less slow and dragging.
yeah, so for it really like depends on where your baseline is. Because if I wake up in the morning, I sound like the old man that narrates the Ford commercials from back in the day.
Oh yeah, what's that? What's
I'm just hold on, let me do this correctly because I gotta just relax and just let everything go loose for a second.
everything?
Fuck. Phrasing. All right, let me try again. Good morning. I'll go ahead and take a coffee now. Thank you.
I think
Like it
that's
just sounds.
everyone's morning voice, though.
Yeah, it's like yeah, but see that's what I would consider the monotone. Granted, depending on what your natural vocal pitch is. I mean, you could have just said that. You didn't have to message it.
But you know, I see where
Actually,
you're coming from. Just that morning voice, man.
yeah, and I'm not trying. Like that's one. My wife's like, "Are you trying to do that right now?" I'm like, No. Hold on. This. I'm tired as fuck. I just woke up. Give me a second. Let me wake up because it's gonna take me another 5 minutes to actually wake up. And chances are I'm gonna pass out on this freaking pillow before I actually do. um, oh sweet, it's still here. Ooh, that smell. That's nice.
What is that?
Let's see, half a cookie and dark plasma.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Um, Jesus fuck, where was I?
You talking about first thing in the morning, your wake up routine, I guess.
Well, yeah, well, it's like if you ever pay close attention to how your voice will naturally deviate. There is no baseline. Well, you do have a baseline to your voice. When you're at your most relaxed is one. And usually that's when you're first waking up in the morning. Granted, for some people it sounds completely different. There's some people that can just down pitch so fucking hard they sound like corpse. Or was it corpse husband? Corpse? Fuck, what's the artist's name?
I think it's like corpse husband. I think you may have had that right.
Yeah, I need to check real quick just to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Because it's gonna nag at me until I actually figure it out.
It came from below.
Yeah. Yeah, corpse husband. Or just corpse. But yeah, he like his voice. Well, see, that's where I have to actually point out a nuance. His voice is that way because of his medical condition, and there are a bunch of other VTubers I know that have the same thing. The two biggest ones that I know off the rip,
What's the
and
condition?
so let's see. For Corpse, he has a condition where I think he's produced. I think his thing is that he kept overproducing stomach acid or something like that. Something that had to do with his intestinal systems. So his stomach acid would actually either overproduce or he would have a reflux of stomach acid, and it basically cooked his vocal cords from a young age.
Damn.
At least I think it's from a young age. It's a chronic condition. Over time, it cooked his vocal cords, and as well as a bunch of other things. Because I think someone said, yeah, uh, someone managed to dox him and they leaked his photo onto the internet, and it's like, and then people were shocked that he looked the way he did. Yeah, no shit, the dude has a medical condition. What the fuck were you expecting?
Yeah.
The dude from You Are Coping and Seething meme that's shown all the fucking time, the model? No, if you have a medical condition, something is jacked with you. You're not gonna look right.
Exactly.
So, but granted, he worked with his strengths. He has a down pitch that's naturally not possible unless your voice was cooked in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that he like that's before anyone tries to put words in my mouth. No, I'm not saying that he did this to him. No. He worked with what he had. You use the cards you're dealt. And he used that to his success. It worked. He was making music. His voice is iconic at this point. And you so much as mention Corpse, everyone knows what you're talking about. You play a voice clip or you play one of his songs, everyone knows who the hell you're talking about. He has become, in certain circles, he is a household name. He did well for himself.
That's awesome.
And another person I can think off the bat is a VTuber by the name of Iron Mouse. There we go. Jesus, I almost fucked that up too.
Yeah, it happens.
So yeah, I'm just trying to keep the information in queue and not fucking forget it. So Iron Mouse, with her, it's a similar situation. She has an immune compromised condition.
That sucks.
Yeah, so granted she with her, like I think it kicked in after a certain age and then she was just bedridden. There's a lot of YouTubers you can look up that cover the story on that because she herself actually goes into explaining what it is that happened. Her voice is she's basically an anime character. That's her voice. It's stupidly high pitched.
Okay.
Granted, that's because the immunocompromised what was it? Her immune system's been compromised. If she so much what was it? The way it was, she had to basically live in a, for the lack of a better term, she had to live in a bubble in a clean room because if she so much got sick, uh, fuck it. There's a gamble right there. 50-50, double or nothing. You may or may not survive.
That's
And
insane.
there's nothing that can be done. Like when you're that immune compromised, you have to live in a clean space. Your home is a clean room. And anyone that so much as tries to interact with you, they have to go through a delousing. Granted, I'm might be over exaggerating a bit, but you do have to like minimize you have to minimize bacterial exposure as much as possible because once something latches on, if it can
If it
cause an illness
it will, yeah, it'll
and
be
and the and it's a nasty fucking prospect. The body has no way of fighting it off because the body's already attacking itself. The T cells that was it the killer T cells that make up your immune system that are supposed to defend you see everything as a target.
that's
And
crazy.
it's fucking sad. And the now granted I think she's in was it she was first VTubing back in like 2014. So fast forward 10 years later, she's at a point now where she's living in her own place. She's actually been able to like get up and walk around. Like I remember one of her Twitter posts from like this past year was her just happy at the fact she was able to get up, walk over to a chair, sit down, and watch the sunrise for the first time ever.
That's
Since her
awesome.
since her condition hit her. I'm like, what the fuck? That is awesome. It's like you're slowly regaining your life. And and that's a fucking comeback. If that's not a comeback, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Um, but granted, so her voice is naturally high pitched. However, if you ever look up like ever like just look up Iron Mouse Ave Maria.
I'll have to.
She was she can actually sing opera. I
That
am not joking. Like true form opera, the whole 9 yards. She can do it.
that is really cool.
If it wasn't for the fact that she can't carry out the whole song, she
S-
maybe got 15 or 20 seconds in before her lung capacity maxed out and she had to start breathing for air again.
Damn. That
Because yeah, immune compromised in her with what it affected for her, her voice is higher pitched because her if I remember the information correctly, her lungs cannot yank in enough air or cannot produce enough oxygen for her. So she is operating at like a reduced capacity as far as what her lungs are actually supposed to be able to pull off, which naturally means her voice is coming out at a higher pitch because it's lack of air.
that
It's
what
fucked.
yeah, I don't have words.
Yeah, it's fucked. And like another tangent real quick. The one thing that always kind of since I was a kid, it's always been my little like I love learning about anything related to medical. Like my parents left medical textbooks laying around all the time. They love to read. It's just something they did. Like my
Understandable.
old man, yeah, my old man was in like at one point did a short stint working as an engineer for Boeing when my parents first met. And my mom, she was basically a jack of all trades. That's basically what she is. It was a jack of all trades. Like there was, if she couldn't do something, she would figure it out and get it done. Um, with that being said, there was a lot of medical textbooks lying around, so I would just pass time reading these textbooks as much as I could. Any other time, I was basically drilled into learning mathematics, learning how to speak English. Which, oddly enough, I learned how to speak English first before Spanish, even though Spanish was the household language. That shit was weird.
It happens.
Yeah. Um. So you learn. as you're reading these medical textbooks, you start learning about certain things. Immunocompromised was not something I had ever, even as a kid. I'm like, okay, that's a weird thing, and just kind of chuck that information on the back burner for the longest time. As you grow up, if you actually remember stuff growing up, you kind of start having that information peek its way back out, and you start realizing, oh shit, I know about that.
Yep.
So that was something that, like, I'm just background. I'm in the gym running. I'm trying to, get my cardio in for the day. Listening to some lore, some like deep dive on Iron Mouse's backstory and everything. Like, who, not the freaking VTuber model, but like the actual,
Yeah,
the
the person
human behind
behind.
the voice. Yeah, the human behind the behind the machine. And I hear immunocompromised. What the fuck? Wait a minute. It just slapped me like a semi. I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on. I know about this. And just as soon as the clip for the Ave Maria is played, I'm like, oh, she is fucking struggling. She's in pain. Like, as soon as that 15-second mark hits and she is like just immediately tapping out, she's telling her audience that she can't go anymore. She has to stop right then and there. She can't. She can feel her chest caving in. It's like, yeah, no, that is her own diaphragm is retracting forcefully. It needs to pull in air somehow, and
Mhm.
it's going to force her to pull in air whether she likes it or not. Opera singing, you need to have hell of a good lung capacity because you need all that air to get to the correct pitch at the correct tone and hold that. It's a vocally demanding genre of music.
Incredibly.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are like, I'm not fucking listening to that. Give it a listen. You don't have to go for the whole thing. It's insane. And the same goes with like what was I'm trying to remember it real quick because it was something that was pretty cool to learn about. And that information's gone. Lovely. So real quick, I'm just gonna jump on another quick tangent. And then I'll jump back shortly. So the information for what I'm about to talk about is based off of the back end of what was brought in to create Doom Eternal, specifically the music. Um, so with Doom Eternal, they brought in an actual death metal band, and I think they also had brought in a death metal choir.
Ooh.
Yes, I did not know this was a thing. Turns out that there are actually which fucking hit me as a shocker. There are Christian death metal choirs.
That's still like, I mean, I could
And
see
it's like,
Christian death
oh
metal because
shit,
like,
this is
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. Like, 'cause there's so many topics. Like, I could see that
Yeah,
actually being really, really
yeah.
cool.
So for the people that say I don't want to listen to it's like I'm not going to listen to Ave Maria, yada yada. Okay, fine. Let me give you something that might be more your speed then. Death metal choirs. It doesn't even have to be Christian death metal choirs, but I myself find the Christian ones to be very fucking intense. It is equally as demanding because you are having to down pitch so fucking hard, whereas with Ave Maria, you're having to hold a certain tone. If you don't have the lung capacity to pull that off, the voice is fucked. You might be able to hold it for 10, 15 seconds, but your body gives out at the snap of a finger and you have to stop.
Yep.
And there is no recovery from that. You are maxed out for the next hour until your body can re-regulate to where it was at baseline. So that's basically Iron coming back full circle. That's basically Iron Mouse's condition. It's one of the conditions. There's also a bunch of other stuff involved. Uh, I'm just for sake of brevity, I'm gonna focus on anything related to voice acting and just the nuances of being able to modulate your voice, but how physiologically there's other mechanics involved that will fuck with that, especially if your immune system is compromised. Um, with that being said, there is another VTuber that I know of. He doesn't live stream anymore. He does recorded content. It's Cabal. Um, let's see. I actually don't remember how I ran into Cabal's stream. I think I was just I was part of a raid at that point, I think. And that's
Okay.
how I ended up in there. But I like the art style he picked for himself though, because he's basically this dude in a purple cloak.
Nice.
Uh, his face is a shadow. His so like the two he has two yellow dots. Well, where his facial features should be is all shadow,
Oh, that's
and
really
then
cool.
yeah, and then the eyes and the mouth are a glowing yellow candlelight details. With the here, actually, I'm gonna just instead of trying to fucking give you the visuals, I'll just send you a screenshot. And actually, I might be able to send you a GIF from here because that's one of the cool features of Discord.
You can do that in general, you think, or?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
All right. And as you can see, guys, this is the video that he was talking about.
Oh
Man,
shit! No, it's
those
not gonna. It's,
it's crazy
it's
all the nuances, huh?
say again.
Oh, you're saying it's crazy all them nuances, huh?
Yes, and it's there. Like there is. So one thing for a lot of like I want real quick. I just want everyone to understand this. There is as much. It is as much an art as it is a science because you have you have certain muscles that need to be mastered. You have certain you need to be able. Geez, I'm trying to get this. There's so much information that needs to come out at the same time, and I just stop trying to shove everything through the funnel at the same time, jackass.
I get that one too well.
um, so it's so your voice acting can be impeded from a physiological standpoint. It can also be impeded from um just inexperience in the skill. It can also be impeded by not knowing what your vocal range is. Granted, there are people that have been able to step outside of their vocal range and then the body adapts. If you're that kind of adaptable person, congratulations, you have the genetic lotto. You're just able you basically were born with adapt or die as your tattoo on your arm.
Hell yeah.
You might be a tyrannid for those of you that know.
Oh no.
Ah, I was gonna be. What the fuck were you talking about last night? Let me look up the info real quick.
Take as long as you
I may
need,
have
bro.
misspelled this. Here actually, I'm gonna do clips, and I'm gonna. Oh, hey, I'm not subscribed. That's let me rectify that right now. Um,
Yeah, I think that last square of that chocolate bar was one too many.
oof. I haven't even bitten into the cookie yet because I like the what's in that. Like, let's see. Okay, so the last time I was in the middle of a stream and I decided I'm gonna break off half of it.
Oh no.
My buddy, who has the death metal growl, went, "Hold the fuck on, break that again in half one more time, you stupid dumbass."
Oh no.
Because you bought that in front of me and I know what's in it. He's
Oh.
like, better yet, break that fourth a half again, in half again. Because I know your stupid ass is gonna think that you're okay, and you won't realize what you've done until it's too late.
Oh
Because you
gosh,
have a
that
bad
reminds me of
habit of
my
doing that.
that reminds me of
Oh,
my fucking edible story.
oh, dude, I got plenty of those. Like the biggest one was I actually ended up being fucking Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Holy crap,
Oh,
that sucked.
I remember fucked 2014 or 15. I was way younger than I should have been, but I was given by someone a quarter, actually closer to half, of a cupcake edible. And
Ooh,
this fucker was strong. This had to have been at least 30 milligram, just that fucking half ish.
Yep.
And for little old fucking Tater, whose only experience was smoking out of a couple, a bowl here and there, hitting maybe a joint twice, getting like that fucking edible. Holy fucking shit! Like, and that kicked in while I was in the bathroom. Do you know how fucking hard it is to wipe your ass when you're stoned out of your gourd? Because my fucking skin was vibrating. I thought I was fucking dying. I could not see straight. I had no balance. But I finally got my ass wiped. I tried pulling up my pants. I fumbled twice. I was fucked up. And then I finally got all my shit on. And granted, this was in a decommissioned trailer with a working bathroom. I had to
Ooh.
get across the fucking property to the camper I was living in at the time. I knew I was off balance. It was broad fucking daylight. I was like, oh shit, my grandparents will see me stoned. What the fuck do I do? Fuck. Okay, chips, fill my arms with chips. Then if I'm off balance, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So
Oh,
I fucking make it into the camper, absolutely fucked up. I put the chip bags down, and I started praying, cause the vibrating, the fucking...
Please let it be fucking convincing.
Yeah, I thought I was fucking dying. I
Just open
tried
12 of
some
this shit. Help
potato
me out here.
chips. There were these ruffled potato chips. I put a couple in my mouth. It felt like my mouth was being scraped and it was on fire. And my
Ooh,
tongue
yeah.
was like covered in cardboard. I
Yeah, the
swallowed it.
hypersensitivity just goes to 11 and breaks the knob off. Yeah, I've been there.
And then the vibrating on my skin got worse. I was
Oh, yeah.
I was tensing up at random, and I genuinely thought, oh shit, this is the end. I'm fucking dying. I could hear voices. Like, I was fucked up. And like I said, I was fucking praying. I thought I was fucking dying. And then it was like, I don't know, 6 or 7. And then I shut my eyes, finally get to sleep, and then I wake up and it's like, shit, I think it was like 11 a.m. the next
It
day.
is a whole day later.
Yeah.
Yes.
That fucking hyper clarity that you get after a really bad trip, that shit was
Like,
worse.
Oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, especially like after having never done anything like that before, like, it was
Well, let me
weird,
go
like,
ahead and write up my last will and testament. My parents about to kick my ass right now, and I'll be sent straight to hell.
not even just that, but it seemed like colors were more vibrant for a bit. I
Oh,
almost didn't need my
jeez.
glasses. Like, you ever
All
have
right,
that?
cool. Yeah. So hold on. Let me hold that thought. I will be right back in like 2 minutes because I gotta pee real bad, bro.
No problem. I'll talk about more edible stories while you're gone.
Yep.
So, after that, guys, after that first painful trip, and apparently, I guess, like, the family didn't realize I was fucked up. Just like if I recall right before we had the security system, thank fuck, I know my ass would have been kicked. But after that, like, fast forward another, shit, like, until last year, actually. Like, fast forward to last year, I got to try an edible again. Now, this time, me being a little bit smarter, I figured, alright, fuck it. I'll take this edible. It was those Sly Fox gummies. Well, the first time I took one of those edibles, I was fine. Like, these were like, I don't know if I recall, like 10 milligram? Either way, but, I was fine. Then all of a sudden, my back started itching. And I was thankfully standing up right against the refrigerator. And then I started scratching my back on the handle. And then fast forward, it had been fucking 10 minutes. And I hadn't even realized it. And then I looked and it's like, oh fuck. So I realized, oh shit, I am too fucked up right now to be able to make it to bed, I think. But I got to at least make it past my grandfather to at least try to climb my ass up the stairs to get to bed. So I finally get my ass upstairs and back into bed. It was like, oh, thank fuck, I'm in bed, I'm safe, well. And then, my skin, I get that hypersensitivity, my skin starts vibrating. Then it stops. I blink. All of a sudden, it's the next day. Surprisingly, I didn't get my ass kicked. I guess they still didn't realize? Which, a little weird, but whatever. So I figure, alright, I've had these edibles for a while. The next day, or maybe the day after even. Fuck it. I think I shall take another couple edibles. I mean, what could happen? I've only had the experience of a couple edibles. This can't be bad. But I figured play it smarter this time. Wait to do anything like that until I'm upstairs, but just pocket them and bring them up. So I do just that. I pocket the edibles, bring them up, and me being just a smart lad, I take like 2 or 3 of those, and my skin starts fucking vibrating. I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh, oh, oh. Like, again, absolutely fucked up. And I realize, oh shit, wait, what the fuck? How do I make it down if something goes wrong? Oh shit! Like, I start panicking, like the paranoid kind of high, which I fucking hate. But what can you do? Because again, and like I said, I'm like at that point just freaked the fuck out, and it was like, I don't know if I was this weird clarity or whatever, but all of a sudden I'm back in bed, but I have to take the blanket off of me because I'm too warm, and then all of a sudden it's off of me. I'm too cold, and I just keep swapping and taking it off, putting it back on. And before I realized it, was like, oh shit, holy man, absolutely fucked myself up. And
I came in at the best possible time.
like fuck, like I like when like you ever get that rate of stoned where you're paranoid plus all the other issues I mentioned?
So I came in right when you were saying, "Oh God, I'm fucked up." I came in at the very tail end of that. I don't know what happened, but I can relate.
Yeah. It's like, man, like I'm the biggest fucking dumbass when it comes to edibles, because like I take one day and then it's weaker the next day. I'm like, all right, cool. I must have a high tolerance. Let's
Shit,
fucking
nah.
macro dose.
That's so. Here's the thing: if there's one thing I've ever learned, it's you never get a fucking tolerance. Like everyone. So here's the thing: everyone thinks they do. Okay, we're gonna go on another tangent, guys. Hold on. So there, the whole biochemical process of metabolizing THC and everything. Basically, what it's doing, it's flooding your dopamine receptors, and it's also attaching to certain parts of your brain's neural structure. It's a whole rigmarole. Essentially, it's basically rewiring your brain bit by bit by bit by bit. Now, the people that say that they have a tolerance, it's not that they have a tolerance. They've fired the fucking trigger for that so many times that the standard baseline chemicals that should be there to cause a reaction have been basically tapped out. The well's dry.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll have like Snoop Dogg, for example. He fucking does that shit religiously.
You ain't
And
kidding.
yeah, well, to the point where like you hear everyone that's ever interacted with the guy, they got stories where it's like, I shouldn't be this high. Yeah, because the man's playing on a level where he is
He is weed?
he is weed, yeah. He's at the level where he needs his THC count to be so fucking high, it will affect him. Because you're basically digging out the bottom of the well to see if you can find anything.
Okay.
And again, I'll preface this by saying I in no way, shape, or form, and I'm not talking shit about anyone. This is just you look up the information, it's there. You just gotta find it. It's always nice to educate yourself, especially when it comes to you trying to go on a little transcendental experience. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and enjoy yourself on your trip. It's
Just be
not,
responsible.
just be responsible and just understand that there's some background stuff that if you understand it, it will help make the experience that much more enjoyable or that much more understandable. Granted, when you fucking go, multiverse of madness, you won't understand shit until it's over, but that's neither here nor there. Um, but understanding the basics of what's going on will kind of help you stay grounded once everything's over. You don't go flying off the heel. Um, so starting at the beginning, real quick. Um, there's already a bunch of studies out there that prove that the constant use does start rewiring your brain. However, your brain, being this very adaptable organ that you possess, will rewire itself back to baseline. But if you keep hitting, eventually it just goes to a point where it will just it'll make a accommodation for what you're doing, and now you're at a point where you're having to up the concentrations of what you're using because now your brain's fully adapted to what you're doing and it's not going to respond.
Okay.
It's like there was this one experiment that kind of brings it into it illustrates it very well. A bunch of electrodes get implanted onto this rat's brain, and the electrodes are wired to a lever in his cage. If the rat goes over and hits the lever, it will send a pulse to the pleasure centers of the brain. Um, so he basically gets a high off of that because all the pleasure centers are fired off at the same time. So he gets this rush of all the good feeling stuff.
And then there's another lever with food, right?
No, this is just a straight lever.
Okay.
All it is just firing a pulse into his brain, and it's hitting all the centers of his brain that are going to make him feel good or make him feel some. It's just going to make him feel. It's going to make him feel feelings that that the rat would actually like. Um, but the thing is, this was a whole experiment to study addictive pathways in the brain and also what it is that's happening to someone who's addicted over a extended period of time. And what they find out is that over I don't remember the timeline, but the timetables that they had, but the rat was hitting the switch so damn much that the brain just numbed itself to the stimulus. It went, nope, I've adapted.
Interesting.
Yeah, brain basically adapted to the stimulus overload. That became the new baseline. To the point where the poor rat kept hitting the switch trying to get something to happen, only for it to just not keel over. It didn't die, but it finally just laid down from sheer exhaustion.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just trying so hard to elicit a response from its own brain because it wanted more of that. Um, Anything you introduce into your own system when doing your little uh trying to keep this as family friendly as possible. When you decide to partake of certain substances, your brain will slowly start to rewire itself, but it will go back to baseline each time. If you're constantly going at it and habitually hitting and hitting and hitting, you will start to rewire your brain. And that goes with literally anything. You can rewire your brain just by working out, which
Okay.
is yeah, that's like something that I do. Like I work out 4 times out of the week, 5 times if I have time.
Ah,
If I can make room for that in the schedule. But I work out. I'm a fucking addict to working out.
I need to start getting back into working out. All I've got is a 6-pack of flabs.
Oh, dude, no. It's one of those things where uh I I could tell you my weight and you'll think I'm Boss Hagen,
What's
but
your
then
weight?
you see 300 pounds.
That's not bad. That's like what,
Three
half
three
muscles, a half?
310 last time I actually weighed myself. But it's one of those situations where you meet me and you think, "Holy shit, Maui." Like, I'm
Okay.
not even joking. That is my fucking nickname. I have basically become the man of many names. There are more nicknames than I can fucking list on my fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, and half of them were from accidents, the other half from people going, "Damn, the fuck are you doing? You sure you're human?"
Okay. Yeah, I know folks like that.
Yeah. And it's just like there's like, what was it? Oh, geez. Do I want to say this one?
Do it.
Okay. So, my metalhead buddy that does the growl, the way he explained it, uh, you got that retard strength.
Yep.
I can't disagree with him because there will be a point that if you put 150 pounds or 200 pounds or 300 pounds worth of shit in front of me and you tell me you can't move that, at first I might not put in the full effort to lift that. Sure. But if I'm in like the
The
say I'm pissed off enough, say I'm determined enough, say that fucking all gauges are now in the red line. I do not give a fuck if I shred my spine apart. I will get that thing off the ground.
maybe
And
berserker
I will
strength, kind of.
fucking and I will yeet that shit away. There have been there have been twice moments where someone looked at me and went, "Dude, we can't move this on our own. We're gonna call in a lift team to come in with an overhead crane and get this out for us." I went, "What the fuck? It's not that heavy." They went, "No, it is, dude." Like, "No, here, it'll just untorque this fucking check valve that weighs 150 pounds and chuck that bastard up like 2 feet onto a ledge, climb up, and continue the continue climbing until I've got it to where I need it to get to. Push it just slightly so I can ensure it doesn't fall down and smash someone down below, and then proceed to carry that off the project site myself."
Are you sure you're not Spider-Man or some shit, man?
I don't know, man. I've always been able to do stupid shit like this.
Hey, nothing wrong with that,
Granted,
man.
granted, at the age I'm at now, I actually found the absolute limit for where I can push that. And it what was it? It reared its head with me basically letting my ego do the talking, loading up a squat bar for 255 pounds when I actually weighed 255 pounds, and I'd never done a 1-to-1 on a lift before.
Oh no.
I 1 rep maxed, locked the Smith machine at full extension, and as soon as I got out from under the bar, spaghetti legs.
Oh
I could
no.
not I could not fucking stand. 5 seconds later, I regained feeling in my legs, sat down, gave myself like 5 minutes to breathe and recover. It is 1:30 in the fucking morning at a 24-hour gym, and I'm the only bastard in there.
Oh.
Had that gone wrong, I could have been stuck there needing to call an ambulance and dragging myself to the front door.
I'm sorry, man.
Luckily, nothing happened that day. 2 months later, I'm having to go to a I don't know if you guys have this up there, but I had to go to an urgent care.
I don't know if we have those, but we do have emergency rooms.
Yeah, it's well, this is what was it? The way someone explained to me, the urgent care is basically when you can't afford to go to an emergency room, you go to an urgent care. The
Okay.
urgent care will basically run you through the whole rigmarole of what you would find at an emergency room without getting the $1,000 for walking in, just for walking in and signing your name on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because hospitals have that kind of thing where it's like they have a you are charged just by appearing.
That's
They
insane.
don't know what's wrong with you. They don't know what's wrong with you. They don't know they don't know what attention you need, but just the simple fact that you are there, you are now being charged this amount. Um, so like here in Virginia, they came up with something called urgent care. And with that one, it's one of two things. You either have medical insurance and your medical insurance will foot the bill, or you pay out of pocket. I've done a bit of both. I've basically jumped between one or two, depending on what my financial situation at that time is. Granted, I walk in, I tell them everything that's going on. They go, "Okay, we're gonna give you some painkillers because
Okay.
we do not have the equipment to check you out right now. We're gonna give you a referral to go take an X-ray lab. But for now, all we can do is this." So then, mind you, when this starts up and I do this, I can't fucking get myself to move. I actually have to grit my teeth and force myself to move through the pain because it feels It feels like it feels like someone's driving an axe through my spine.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So get myself checked out. Immediately, I'm hitting up my primary care physician. I'm hitting up my chiropractor. I'm hitting up every single person that I can think of that can take a look at what's going on with me. Um, Finally get the X-ray done. The information gets sent out to all the doctors that I specified. Everyone comes to the conclusion, motherfucker, you almost crushed your spine.
Damn.
200. Basically, I had loaded. My spine had taken a brunt of 400 and actually no, I take that back, not 400. 510 pounds worth of weight
Holy
and
shit.
squatted it at an incorrect with an incorrect form, all jacked up. Essentially, I had managed to compress the lower half, what was it? The Okay, so you have the upper back, mid, lower back of my spine, the L1 and L5 vertebrae had been compressed.
Fuck.
There was no crush damage. This is how they explain it to me. This is the medical terminology. There is no crush damage present in those vertebrae. However, we do see a couple millimeters worth of compression damage. That cannot be undone. However, with enough physical therapy and with the right training regimen, you'll be able to get back to a similar baseline to where you were before the compression damage. The problem, however, is had you gone a couple millimeters more in compression damage, your nerves would be offline. You would not be able to work to walk anymore.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry,
I
man.
came real close, and I do not want to know how close. Like I didn't bother. I didn't give them the specifics on the weight because I don't think it would have mattered. Something tells me that if I had loaded 20 more pounds on there and gone again, I probably wouldn't be walking right now.
I'm so sorry.
And the looking back on it though, the hilarious shit, everyone that fucking knew me did not waste time in telling me how much of an idiot I was.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, you fucking dumbass. It's uh coming back to full circle. Physiology and whatnot. Um where the fuck was I?
You were talking
um
about the effects of marijuana, I believe.
yes. So physiology for that kind of stuff. And then just but that's the thing. So not everyone has the same baseline. Fuck no. No, nobody has the same baseline. We figured that out a long ass time ago. It's just for the sake of standardization, we believe there is a baseline. But
Aha.
medically speaking, there is no baseline. Not everybody is born with the exact same genetics. Not everybody is born with the exact chemical makeup as far as neural structures of the brain are concerned. Some people have more hormones in one section than the other. It's crazy variations of shit. And we act like we know, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's the more we find out, the less we actually know. We just have more questions to try and figure things out.
Every day we learn a
Um,
little bit more about our ignorance.
Pretty much. Um, and it's one of those things that, take that in conjunction with, um, how your brain can just rewire itself to certain stimuli. There we go. It's the stimulus adaptation. Your brain, as soon as it's presented with certain stimuli, will start rewiring itself. If it if it's beneficial, the brain will rewire itself to process the beneficial stimulus. In the case of working out, it's muscle growth, it's cardiovascular improvement. You'll start enhancing your own lung capacity. What is it? Your cardiovascular system starts to reinforce itself so it can start pumping double time or triple time if needed because to your brain it's all considered fight or flight stimulus at that point when it comes to working out. It can't tell the difference between you lifting a weight to get your next rep in, or there's a freaking saber-toothed tiger on top of you trying to shred the crap out of you. Your
Damn.
brain can't tell the difference. Because at the end of the day, your brain is just a processing center. It's gonna process the data, parse it out as needed, and then redistribute to where it needs to go. Give orders as needed. Heart start pumping, blood start distributing oxygen, lungs start pulling in air to process and process into oxygenation of blood of red blood cells, etc., etc., etc. It's all just one giant working machine, and if you can optimize it, ooh, you are capable of some really, really insane shit, and that's without going into things like genetic modification, guys that use steroids, body enhancements, etc. ad nauseum. Um, but your brain at the end of the day is reacting to all that stimulus and constantly changing itself. Uh, the only time that that is detrimental to you is when you either oversleep or undersleep, because your brain will start to go from looking the way it does on a normal brain scan to looking like a fucking dried out cauliflower.
Okay.
Yeah, it is crazy to see that happen. It's neural degradation.
That's insane.
Um, it's the margin of error is so tight on that. It's why they say you have to have 7 hours of sleep, because right now what we're seeing, or at least what the experts are saying, is that if you go under 7 hours into like the 6 hour range, your brain starts to degrade. If you go past the 7 hour range, going into 8 hours or 9 hours, depending on again, this is just the possible standard. There are outliers. Not everyone's the same, and some people just have a weird smattering across what the study data shows. But some people are able to operate with fuck all, and some people just cannot operate without sleeping at least 15 hours.
That's
Um,
insane.
but the brain can't adapt to the lack or excess, depending on where your how your brain's base or how your body's developed itself to operate. Um, once that's shit that's set in. Um, Fuck, like they say, you don't stop growing until you actually don't finish developing until the age of 25. That's when everything's finally locked in, and that's your go ahead. Your brain at that point it is at what it is. But um some people, or just a lot of people, they'll start having neural degradation from lack or excess of sleep. And that's something that, if you get the right amount of sleep, though, your brain itself will slowly start to heal from that. Um, with that being said, all the stimulus that you're constantly getting, it's the only case that you see where the brain is not able to adapt.
Damn.
Sleep is fucking important. Like you cannot, like, food, sleep, water. You handle those three, then you can worry about everything else. You can worry about getting, shelter, finance, what the fuck am I doing today,
Yeah.
etc. But if you don't get those first three things in check, you're fucked.
Yep.
You're on borrowed time. And your brain will literally be like, "Hey man, come on, come on, come on, come on, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it. I can't do anything else." And that's the same stimulus reaction where your brain's constantly, it never stops. The only time your brain actually stops is when it gets to sleep. It'll basically go into like a power saving mode, and
Okay.
it'll start slowly fixing itself back up. But as soon as you're back up and running, back up, stimulus, 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 adapt, 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 process, process, process.
Ouch. Okay.
And introducing substances, it actually changes that. For some people, holy shit, their best work does not come out until you do that.
Okay.
For others, might not do anything for them, and then for some people, you have a guy that basically tore his buddy apart and became a zombie and got shot 15 times by the cops, and he still didn't go down.
That was the bath salts was that one, right?
Yeah, and I remember that case when I was in middle school. I actually looked up the specifics for that case. The toxicology report was put on public information. No bath salts, no
That,
bath salts, no alcohol. Trace amounts of marijuana were in his system.
holy shit.
No, now there's people that, no. Granted, I'm gonna go out and say that I'm gonna go on a limb and acknowledge the certain groups of people. There are people that do believe very much that the drug toxicology report was doctored, or that the information was covered because, "Ooh, this was an MK Ultra experiment. Oh, this is a Manchurian candidate. Oh, this was a sleeper cell that got activated at the wrong time." Or, "Oh, this
Before
is
we
someone who."
Before we
Wow.
get further into this, I would just like to state
up?
that the opinions stated by my guests do not reflect the opinions of the host. All right, you're good now.
No, these are not I'm just presenting the info. Do with it what you will. I am someone that usually likes to sit back and observe before I make any statements or opinions. I'm just going off of what I know, and yes, there is very much a chance that I'm incorrect. I'm more than happy to accept that if I'm wrong. I'm just running off the information that's present publicly. Someone knows something in the background, by all means, feel free to fucking correct me. I'll take it. Because I don't know everything at the end of the day, and to act like I'm to was it to ignore your own ignorance is basically asking for trouble.
Yep.
Um, so there are people that do believe that that shit was doctored, that maybe he was on bath salts, or that he was on a special kind of drug, or he was on a designer drug, or that he was what was it? There was one theory that he was a schizophrenic that had a cocktail of drugs introduced that just basically forced him to snap and go into a berserker rage. Granted, you look at the history books, there are some examples of that where the Nordic, what was it? Nordic, I want to say Nordic tribes had berserkers that would intake like a cocktail of shrooms and they'd go insane and not be able to tell friend from foe, but they'd also become nigh indestructible despite, missing a chunk of themselves or something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's insane shit when you look into it. And there's also like a bunch of, anyways, the main thing is that it's the interesting the thing I found interesting about the toxicology report, coming back full circle, that's what the certain circles believe happened, that the information is doctored. But when you look at the actual toxicology report, it doesn't. It says negative, 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 positive for traces of marijuana.
Yep.
And one small detail that it, do with it what you will, consider the following: certain people with certain trying to remember the correct terminology here, so I don't go talking out of my ass. The predisposition for schizophrenia or psychosis, or even just more prominent mental instabilities. You find out that at a high enough concentration, and then sometimes it doesn't even need to be a high enough concentration. Sometimes a very low concentration can kickstart the powder keg. THC will actually bring that out full bore. It'll go from something super minimal to now it's the main driving force in the brain, where now this person is having full on schizophrenic hallucinations, or the person in question is having a full psychotic breakdown, or full berserker mode, or it's very unpredictable what it is that it could bring out. But if the key variables are present, it doesn't matter how weak or how strong the concentration is, the brain will immediately react to that in a very violent manner. So the fact that Homeboy's toxicology report reads as negative for all except for trace amounts of THC present in the report, it kind of lends credence to the fact that he might be one of the outliers where that small amount was just enough and it set him off.
Very possible.
Yeah, and so it's very interesting how, like, the chemical interactions between all of that. Some people don't feel anything. Some people will see everything. Some people will see shit they've never seen before. Um, I know a buddy of mine that he wants to work on. He wants to create his own exosuit.
Would that happen
And
to be
like,
our shared buddy who happens to be an animator?
no. I didn't know that he was into that. I need to talk to him more honestly. I need to spend more time in the chat room hanging out with everybody. If I
Yeah.
wasn't so damn busy, I probably would.
Yep, I understand.
Um, yeah, but you know, just life responsibilities, those come first.
Oh
And you
yeah.
know, if anyone, to anyone that's managed to sit around for so long into this shit, you know, thank you for coming along the ride. I'm sorry that it keeps twisting and turning. It's just
Y'all are the
my
real
brain is,
MVPs.
yeah, y'all are the real MVPs. I'm sorry, my brain is just scatterblasting, and I'm trying to keep up as best as I can with myself. Um, the for anyone that has to leverage being a content creator as either a hobby or trying to kickstart a career in content creation, understand that you do have to strike a balance. Like with anything in life, you have to be able to strike a balance with your personal life, what you're doing in content creation, and if you do have a work life, you also have to balance that into the entire equation, because not everything is gonna you're gonna have to be able to make some sacrifices here and there for the stuff you want to do, but be prepared for the consequences. Same goes is if you're choosing to maintain your personal life and your work life and sacrifice some of your content creation, if that's what you want to go for, or your hobbies, for example, as another condition in the entire equation, not specifically content creation, but you have to be able to leverage all your time. You only have 24 hours in the day. You lose 8 of those or 7 of those sleeping. Then you take, you know, 15 to 30 minutes to get ready, 15 to 30 minutes to wind down and go to bed. So you lose another hour. Now you're at 8 or 9 hours lost. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, that also chews into your time. 8 hours at work or 6 hours if you're doing a part time job. You start losing hours. And by the end of the day, you've only maybe got 3 to 4 hours to yourself to do whatever. Are you going to use that depending on, you know, on your own situation? Are you going to use that time for yourself and what you want to do? Or if you have, you know, responsibilities that also require your attention, are you going to use more of that time towards your responsibilities, and then whatever little you do have left, pump into, you know, option three, for example, for lack of a better term. Um, and if you're that person that chooses, you know, you have your priorities straight, and you say, yes, this is what I want to do, but I'm not about to fuck over the people I'm responsible for, or fuck over my own family for that. If people bash on you, fuck them. Don't go letting other people that tell you that you're not doing enough just because you feel that, you know, what you got going on in your personal life is way more important than what's going on in the internet scene. At the end of the day, the internet's always gonna fucking be there. The people that want to follow you will fucking follow you because they want to follow you. Um, so don't feel like you're in a rat race. Don't ever fucking do that. It's never worth it. I like perfect example. Uh, a buddy of mine by the name of Ant. I'll just give him that. I'll just give him that as a moniker. This guy was a college student, got real big off Twitch, and he was a flesh tuber streamer. This man in 1 year was averaging 1 hour a week, or sorry, 1 hour a day of sleep,
Oh man.
because he was going to college. Then he would stream for an absurd amount of time, and the only reason that his sleep was and it chewed into his sleep. He was sacrificing sleep and sacrificing a little more time behind the stream, and leveraging that somehow into his college time. And the only reason he was able to pull that off was because, and the guy basically admitted to me. He says he says I abused the amphetamines that I was supposed to be taking,
Damn.
because he had an Adderall prescription because the dude was ADD the fuck out, and so the Adderall leveled him out. Come to find out, he realized, oh shit, I can keep going because I'm taking this stuff. Let's keep it running. He'd went a whole year, got like what was it? Was making like what's it? This was back in like 2017. By the time I met him when he told me this story, so he started back in like 2014, 2015. This man must have been making like averaging fuck, I want to say 2K, 3K viewers and then averaging the same in subscriptions and not including tips and donations, etc. This man was making money hand over fist and he was just a college student. But fuck all if he was sleeping.
How bad was the come down?
When everything was said and done, homeboy burnt out, crashed and burned in glorious fashion. He called it quits, realized he couldn't keep going. Um, and I end up meeting him sometime later, being introduced to him. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I was like, I was a streamer too," and it's like it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun stuff, but I couldn't do that shit anymore. I'm like, "What the fuck were you doing?" He's like, "Oh, just it became too much, man. I had too much shit going on in my personal life." And then another friend of mine clues me, and he's like, "No, man, that dude was Adderall the fuck out. He wasn't getting any sleep. That dude was coming real close to just having a mental breakdown." And he decided to call it quits.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's again that stimulus for the brain, like bringing that all full circle, and then just also like just my advice to y'all: it's not worth it to push yourself to the point where you're crashing and burning, because at the end of the day, you see what was it? So like in the past, what was it? In the past year, there has been 8 or 9 high profile VTubers that graduated simply because they couldn't keep up with the pace at which they were supposed to be operating at. Mind you, these guys were all corporate, so you have a contractual obligation to perform to the standard when you're doing that. Granted, if you're an indie and you're working to that standard, eventually you do start to fall apart and you can maybe patch the damage and keep moving. Eventually, though, you will start to fall apart at the seams. So, for anyone that's an independent or anyone that's thinking about doing content creation or anyone that is currently doing content creation, trying to make it big or trying to do it as a hobby, do not at all feel ashamed if you need to prioritize time for yourself, time for your responsibilities, or time for your family. The internet will always be there. What you got going on in real life is on a timeline. Pay more attention to that. The rest will still be there when you can get to it. Not everyone likes to hear that, but in the case of Ant and what happened to him, he had to stop because the natural reaction of your brain when something doesn't seem right is to start doing fight or flight. That stimulus response. It's going stop, 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 tap out, abort, 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 abort. And if it can't get you to stop fast enough because you're not listening to all the warning signals, shut down, whether you like it or not.
Yep. That's
And your
something I
brain gets
learned.
final say. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the brain is, yeah, so just coming back full circle. And again, these are the chemical interactions. It's funny how your brain does this because it's just there's not it's it's just a lump of material. It's a lump of gray matter. It's this special material that under the correct conditions is basically pulsing out all this bioelectric current that your body naturally produces, is constantly storing info, recalling it, reconstituting information, making new information, processing, uh, was it transferring data, recalling on the moment's notice, It's doing so much. It's basically like a PC, except the PC is able to do even more than that. But
I know what you mean.
this is analog tech. Your brain is a piece of analog technology, and organic analog technology is basically what that is. And the chemical interactions that go into making that happen are it's a fucking kaleidoscope of activity, man. If you can visualize it for yourself, you'll just be stunned by it, and you'll just be thinking about all the possibilities of what could happen.
It's one of the coolest things.
Yeah, one of the coolest things, and it's even more so when you start introducing things, like THC and what it can do. And then but again, there's also consequences to that that you have to take into account. And for anyone that out there that likes to do this stuff, if you take like the 5 seconds or however much time you want to put into just slightly studying this or going into full dive into seeing how this works, it'll help you appreciate the experience much more, but it'll also have you have a high respect for what your brain can do and to not just go fucking around 24/7 like that. But all of us have those oh fuck stories when we come out of it and going, we should not have done that. I've got a few.
Hmm. It's it's
And
one of the most natural things.
yeah, and you don't realize what's happened until it's all said and done, and then you're just surprised at the fact you were able to come through the other side slightly unscathed. You probably got a couple dents and dings in your in your frame, for lack of a better term. But you come out better for it, and you've learned. Um, and yeah, actually, wow, we did two topics. Because anyway, so yeah, I sent you the video for Cabal.
That's a really
Um,
cool looking model.
yeah, it's a really cool looking model. Someone actually asked him, "Hey, did you get your inspiration from the art style for Borderlands?" And he goes, "Actually, yeah, that's exactly what we were shooting for with this design." He basically paid a person to was I think if I remember the story he explained correctly, he paid a designer to basically copy the style for Borderlands when making this model, and kept the whole setup of like the purple robe and the shade looking monster and everything. And he's basically the eldritch being of the purple sign.
Okay.
um but his voice is fucking iconic as well. When this man is genuinely laughing, he sounds like the Joker.
That's pretty cool.
And if he's talking, he kind of sounds like the Joker. Granted, not like oh, I'll get you, Batman. No, like it's just
That
it's like
wasn't the
if
Joker, man. That was Krusty the Clown.
yeah, that was Krusty the Clown. I can't pull off a Joker. Like my voice is just too shredded for it.
I get it.
I can't. There's a fluctuation present in that voice that I can't quite do. I've listened to Mark Hamill do the voice time and time again. I've tried to pull it off. I just can't. My chords are too stiff. They can't do a vibrato that can work with that to replicate that easily enough. Um, but yeah, you listen to him talk, and but again, this is someone who has, I think, if I remember his story correctly, he has prior experience working as the talent for a haunted house setup.
Ah,
Yeah, so like the killer that chases everybody, and you got to try getting out of the freaking house before it's game over and whatnot. That's basically what he was doing. Not really a game over setup. It's more like get yourself from point A to point B, but the threat is constantly on you, so you got to haul ass. And he tells stories of that, which is pretty cool. Um, but he also has I think, what is it? At some point, he develops a condition where his vocal cords, I think, or his lungs have been compromised. So
damn.
it changes. It can it no. Granted, it's not an Iron Mouse situation, I don't think, but it definitely changes the function for how his voice works. So He can down pitch real hard, but he can also pitch up to sound like Joker. And he actually has the iconic Joker laugh,
I see.
but it's like his own variation of it, which in it is iconic in and of itself. It's a very infectious laugh. You want to laugh with him, and it's entertaining. It kind of just sets the vibe, and everyone's just there having a good time, laughing alongside him. Uh, I think one of the one of the what was it? Damn, there's so many good moments that I can pull from just out of memory alone from the streams that I've watched, and it's just every I couldn't the words would not do it justice. You had to be there to experience it. Which luckily the VODs are still up. So if you guys, anyone that wants to go look at these things, look at what I mean. Whether it be Iron Mouse or OB Katie Cat or even Cabal, look up their past work, listen to how they talk, and you kind of realize, oh wow, like it's not just we're reading from a script. No, this is them as themselves, and they're just able to put a certain emotion that can't be replicated, by standard voice acting, and it's so infectious that everybody just wants in on it. They want to be part of it. It's the fucking party. You want to be here, and it's awesome.
Incredibly.
Yeah, and that's where I would say I would. And then granted, though, Cabal is very honest. He has prior voice acting experience, so that's pretty cool that he already knows that. But the simple fact that like every single one of these people can just kick and kick and kick and kick, and they're just kicking out all this entertainment, and at one point at first it becomes something you're learning, but then it becomes something you can just pump out on command. Then it becomes something that just you're doing it as second nature. And for the voice acting on my end, now that I can bring it back full circle, for me, I'm self-taught. I'm still in the learning phase. I'm winging this every step of the way, and it's one of those things where a lot of what I'm doing is just me reading stories, narrating, voicing the characters, trying to figure out how I want the characters to sound as because for most of the story for every cartoon or for every video game or for every movie that has had a book that came beforehand or that came after the fact, cool, you have references to work with. But like in the case of Undertale, for example, there is a organic uniform reference that everyone uses, but it's not, to my knowledge, it's not considered the canon, what would be the canon voices of said characters in Undertale.
Okay.
People could come in. I remember Markiplier got flack for voicing Sans, where Sans is supposed to be a hey bud, how you doing? It went from that to Markiplier straight up decided he sounds like he's from the deep south. Hey,
Okay.
bud, how you doing? Welcome to the underground. You know,
I
people
like
gave
that
him so
variation.
much flack. It's like, holy crap, whoa, calm down. The creator didn't make voices for these characters. It's literally just text sound to insinuate that they're talking. This is like you're playing Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing or Terraria, not Terraria, yeah, not Terraria, Stardew Valley. The characters don't exactly have a voice,
And I don't get
so
why
so you
people
just
get so mad over that. It's like, come on.
I don't get it. I don't get it either. Granted, the community organically decided these are the voices. Okay, cool, but they're not the official voices.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, an official voice was never chosen. The creator left it up to the what was it? Fuck, I forgot his name. Toby Fox um left it up to the player to figure out how the voices were going to sound. So granted, yes, there are a majority of people that are in agreement that yes, this is how the voice should sound, but you have other people with a unique perspective that might want to do a different kind of voice For all we know, there might be someone out there that gives Sans a Scottish accent as his voice.
Very possible.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you you it's the rare not rare, it's one of the times where you are voicing. Slow down, pendejo, dame un momento. Um, it's one of those moments where you have a medium that you're reading, but there is no audio or cinematic or video game reference that you can use, and you literally have to wing it. And granted, you have context clues that tell you how the voice should sound, but there are like for every context clue, you might have 3 or 6 or 17 or 20 or 1,000 different variations on how a voice could sound. And it's all left up to interpretation on how the heck that should sound. To whom it may concern, here's the information, do with it what you will. And from there, it's simply dealer's choice on how the voice is actually supposed to sound. So it's one of those things where there is a lot of wiggle room for the voice actor when it comes to something like that, where the medium doesn't. Now, granted, if the voice actor is doing it themselves, sure. But then you sometimes have a director. The director has a vision for how he wants things to go, and so the voice actor has to do their best to match that. Well, one of the best references that I can think of where that happens is Robin Williams. If you've ever watched Aladdin,
Not in a long time, but I know. Yeah.
yeah, Robin Williams voiced Genie, but there is a give and take there. Robin Williams has his interpretation of what the voice should sound like. I'm sure if you dug up the information, you could find plenty of voice clips or video clips where he doesn't sound quite like Genie. And then you have the director of the film come in and work with the voice actor to figure out where is the happy medium between between what the director is wanting and what the voice actor is wanting. Or hell, if the director's a fucking jackass, he's gonna be like, no, this is what I want from you, and this is what it's gonna be. And then of course the only thing the voice actor can do is switch to that tempo.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's uh it's a very unpredictable um it's a very unpredictable and chaotic uh industry for what it is skill wise, but it's also a very um it's a very the world is your oyster when it comes to how it works. It's like my latest it's my latest it's my latest deep dive apart from the freaking nightmare fuel that I've been wanting to read up and listen on.
I mean, shit, dude. Like, I'm genuinely enjoying hearing you talk about stuff you're clearly passionate about.
Oh yeah, I mean fuck, I got maybe like 50 other things that I can also mention.
Maybe
Uh
not. Maybe tomorrow, cause it is
oh, you know,
12:24
it
a.m.
is
Where the fuck
late.
did the time go?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Jeez, man, this is what I'm talking about. Like with Ice when what was it with King Ice when he was in the last one when I dropped in on y'all. I could have kept that shit going
I would have been fine with that.
nonstop. I could have kept that shit going. I don't know for how long, but I could have kept it going. My fucking throat hurts right now, dude.
So does mine. I don't think I've ever actually like sat
Ah,
and talked for this long. Like, even though I
my
didn't really
throat's like,
talk
what
much
the
about
fuck are
the
you doing, pendejo?
basically, hey jackass, what the fuck's wrong with you? Help! Sorry.
Yeah, it's well, no, it's fine, man. Fuck, I enjoyed listening to what you had to say.
I don't even know what
Uh,
the hell I've said. I am so stoned right now, and it's just compounding, man.
Um, so there's You've said quite a lot yourself because there's some perspective that you brought into it just from the things you've done, and then there's the stories you've shared. While I had to take a step, while I had to step away from for a minute or so. Um, but there's also the fact that you have your experiences as far as what it takes to be a voice. Like you had as much input as I honestly, though kind of afraid that I didn't let you talk much.
Dude, it's totally
Which
fine. Like I said, I'm enjoying hearing you speak.
That's why, like, with when King was in when King was in the first time, I was like, man, let me try to let King and let me let King and Starch kind of have their say. I'm just gonna like kind of hang in the background real quick. I'll listen and listen, and then if I have some input on the topic at hand, I'll drop in when I can.
Yeah, fair enough.
Holy fuck, I was not expecting the three of us to start bouncing off each other like we were playing dodgeball and just, you know, whipping that shit around and see who the hell got hit instead.
That was fun as hell, man.
Fuck. Yeah, we can go ahead and call it here. I'm good.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for listening to the Tatercast. See you next time.